Ocean Saint Tarot's guide to use. I'm having this control card here. Nothing needs to be perfect. Nothing needs to be the way how you expect life to be. And I feel like you're trying to control the outcomes of something instead of going with the flow of life. Instead of trying to cherish each moment that you're experiencing in this lifetime. This card is trying to tell you to let go control so you don't have to carry so much burdens. So that way you can enjoy life better. And this is the end of reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Okay, for this question, waiting for Iyanah. It's about romantic feeling and that friends you're asking for. I'm going to use the Twin Flame Oracle, so essential deck for you. Acknowledge. Take responsibility. Soulmate, clearing core wounds. What is that specifically? Take responsibility. Is there a specific message in the guidebook? Communication. Iyanah needs to be more communicative regarding the truth of her feelings, whether toward this friends here or toward her own self. So it is going both ways. Perhaps something, the truth, perhaps you're not speaking the truth, perhaps something is still holding you back about the truth. Some type of barrier that you're having about the feelings that you're having. The reason why you're asking the specific questions. Your guardian wants you to acknowledge that. There's some confusions on the surface. From the past relationship she's having with Wiley. Is that the reason why? I think I should move forward to the next card to see what's coming through here. It's here to give you some insight, but we'll see what that means, those two cards, and see how it's answering the question that you're having. What is this? Have a hard time seeing this color here. Slate. Soulmate. 7-3. Clearing. So they are soulmate here. To make that extra feeling to be romantic. That is because the compatibility as a soulmate. So your ability as a soulmate. So you're experiencing love at first sight. That's what I'm getting here. The extra comfortable feeling, special feeling that you both are having. So it's easily to fall in love. and it's quite compatible with each other's. So is this a romantic relationship? Possible, your spiritual guardian. So is this a romantic relationship? Possible, your spiritual guardian said. Does wants to have a romantic relationship right now? Yes. However, but I'm getting however. Why? Because they are best friends? Friends. Because they are friends. Why is it why is it confusing? Iyanah, can you focus on your breathing and nothing else? I feel like I'm getting interference by your energy. I feel like you're trying to manifest something here. So can you allow me to connect with your spiritual guardian to get an answer for you? Please? Just don't manifest. If you manifest, then you're the one who giving me the answer, not from your spiritual guardians. So let me try this again. Does Wiley wants to have a romantic relationship with Iyanah right now? Possibles. Is that the feelings of a romantic relationship? No. So it's not the romantic feeling that she is having with you. But it wants to have, oh, it didn't like the question you're putting at. Okay, I see, Iyanah. It's not a romantic feelings that Wiley is having, but there's a possibility of developing into a romantic relationship. I think it's a timing issue here. It's jumping too fast. The way you feel toward this individual, jumping too fast. This person is not at the same place as you are. And I'm getting, even though you both are soulmate, so therefore, there's a possibility of having romantic relationship. You know, everyone is at their own different timeline when it comes to processing their own feeling toward an individual. On top of that, I'm picking up their other problems that you and her are having individually. I'm not saying together, okay? Individually, because I'm getting this clearing core wounds issue here. There are some wounds that needs to deal with before you even or even her can get there to process, oh, is there more than just friendships? Is there anything else that I need to elaborate here? There's something need to acknowledge because you both need to take responsibility of the wounds in the past. So, and I feel like that's what's going on. If none of you are willing to take responsibility for your own self, that's going to be a problem in this relationship in the long run. Is there anything else I need to say for Iyanah here? It's already answered. The lightworker oracle I'm going to have to block because of nudity issue here. The first one is the east, okay? East direction, the sun rising. So we look at what kind of opportunity, okay, for you. Card 43. But let me go to a guidebook for you. It's about integration. It's also about blessing. The blessing is mean things that are happening to you in your day-to-day life. Those are blessings. And you have to open your mind and heart to receive them, to receive those life events, so you can have opportunity to start integrating the all aspect of your life, your body, heart, mind, and soul. And that's what this opportunity card is trying to tell you, to understand those are your true actions. And you have the willpower as well to exercise during those opportunities. And just keep that in mind here. And let's move on to the south, okay? The south, it's the barrier. What's stopping you? Or 38, earth healing. Lacking the unconditional love is one of the biggest barrier. It kind of stops you from seeing your true action that you really need to deal with your day-to-day life situations. Is there any more to elaborate in this one? So you're still having some hard matter. Those are like a burden to you. It's also the limitation of that. And also the trust issue. It's also another limitation. The worth is still being questioned. It's about you. You're still questioning the worth of healing, the worth of this living, the worth of many things, the worth of healing, the worth of this living, the worth of many things. I don't know how many, but enough to for me to list them out. But I couldn't list all of them out for you because it just the list can be quite long. And that's stopping you. Those are your barrier because you have to define the worth at some level, different level. Okay, I'm not saying 100%. Could be 30% here, 3% up there. It varies a lot. Like the one that I even self-worth is here talking about that. The healing, the worth of healing. Like what is the outcome? What's the way of that? What's the result of it? Like I think that what driving you to define the worth of certain things in your life, and that is also a barrier for you. If you have to, I'm not saying you're a calculating person, but I think that you're using some sort of a formula to come up with that results, and that's really hindering you and causing you to react to the word trust as well. And let me move on to this reflections, okay? What do you need to reflect on with that west positions? West is like, look at that as a moon. The moon is always about your inner world, right? When the sun comes up, then it has to go down, then the west, we're looking at the moon side of it. Third way of creative intelligence. This is about reflections. It doesn't really talks about here. What is it that you guys want her to reflect? It's two thought bases. I don't think she's gonna understand. Unconditional love is coming about love. Okay, not unconditional. We move the word unconditional. So we want you to reflect on love. Love is not the way how human talks about, oh, I love you in general term of friends, family, boyfriend, husband, fiance, coworker, boss. I love my boss. I love this outfit. I love listening to this artist. I mean, how love, they put love in so many things, but this love is not any of that. This love is about the inside. How do you use love to express on the outside? But the question is, what kind of love are you practicing on the inside? I think that is what it needs to reflect on. If you are just practicing love based on expressing toward people that you prefer, toward things that you like to see and listen to, like as simple as a piece of outfit, oh, so beautiful to me and on me, I love it. I love wearing it every day, but that's preference. Your love has preference. Your love is not universal. Alicia, I think that's what this is trying to tell you. It's already triggering you to have isolation, triggering you have discrimination, triggering you to have good things where you only want to associate with certain group of people, perhaps like-minded people, perhaps people that believe in the same things, believe in the same cause that you do, for you to be in this group, to associate in this group. So it create good thing for you. So do you see how that type of love, it's already moved you away from the unconditional love? Unconditional is another terminology for universal love. So that is something that you need to work on. So lacking the unconditional love from the previous card also talks about that. Why you're not able to continue further to heal yourself, okay? For that reasons. So let me move on to the last one, the authenticity. I need to block this one here as well. Continuity 44, 7-way ritual order and ceremony 44. What it is that about the authenticity 44. Magic. Why does it want to say magic? Magic of divine, magic of creativities, magic of spiritualism, magic of spirit self. I don't even like to use the term magic. Magic, the way human being in this society is like, oh, I have magical power. I can make things disappear and reappear again. It's not like one of those performers on the stage, how they play with magic, okay? This spirit self have nothing to do with magic. I don't believe this is a magic. It's just people lock up the scientific knowledge about their soul, because it's never been written anywhere. Where do you learn about soul? Perhaps in psychology. Where do you learn about soul? Perhaps in religion they talk about soul. Perhaps where do you learn about soul? Perhaps you have spiritual encounter in your life, so therefore, oh, I believe I do have a soul, so in that regard. But then other than that, where's the really truth about the soul? Only you can tell Alicia what you have been through, but I can only tell you based on my personal experience, based on my understanding about reading so many people's, and including myself as well. I used to read myself ever since I discovered my own skill But soul is nothing magical. It's just the true nature that we have soul within our own vessels, but we never understand what it is. Where's that energy coming from? It's coming from the emotion that we practice. But why are we even have emotions? Emotions are not your authentic version of the true form of soul. Soul never really have emotions. It's just that so much interaction, so much like socialization, and the environment itself is used to be so pristine on this earth until the humans start creating a whole bunch of stuff in it to mutilate the nature. Look around you. Why we have city. Look around you, why there's so much pollution around this world. It's not just land, the sea have pollution as well. All of that. It's always changed the authentic nature. Nature is not even so offended like the old days, right? I'm talking about the old days have never been documented in history by human being. So you gotta understand that. Also, it's also like the true nature is already been damaged, it's already been mutilated by the humans, okay? No different between you and I the same. I have to go through healing myself, and I know you're in this healing journey as well. So you understand this, and that's good enough to understand that there is no such thing emotion. Even the word love is not emotion. Yes, human soul have love, but not the way how love is being defined by the human creation that I mentioned from the previous cards. How, oh, I love you, I love this, I prefer this, is all come from emotions. But when you no longer practicing the emotional love, the emotional side of love, what you have left is really unconditional love. So, and that is the authentic version of your soul, your true north that you're trying to get to. So it's not something magical. It never was magical. It's just the truth that the human soul have forgotten. They don't want to co-create with their spiritual guardian. They've been ignored their spiritual guardians for a long period of time, like they dormant their own spirit self. They couldn't connect back to this divine level. I'm talking about the fifth dimensional and higher. Our soul can actually connect to that spiritual dimension. It is out there. Just because you cannot see it, but does not mean you cannot sense it through your intuition. Alicia, I hope that you have been working on that. Is there any more need to talk about this authenticity? Yes, creativity. What is that creativity? Because you can choose not to practice any of those emotions that I'm talking about, right? The one probably in the past reading that I did for you. You can choose to practice universal love if you so choose to do that, to return back to your authentic self. Now I'm saying that in a summary form, right? Because that's where the willpower sat on one of the previous cards. So you can exercise that willpower. Before you can exercise this willpower, do you understand the truth? Do you understand about what's triggering you in those light events that you deal with on your day-to-day life? Once you identify, you can immediately decide, hey, I don't want to practice this emotion anymore. Why am I having this emotional reaction? Yeah, I just gone through this specific life situation, perhaps with somebody, or perhaps on your own, that I'm feeling this feeling in here inside of me. Why is that? Why do I have to be so reactive toward the outside? Why can I not recreate this inner world to be more beautiful for myself every day, to feel the universal love? Do I have to really prefer to like and dislike something when I can actually choose to like everything, to put love into everything? So therefore, I don't have to feel angry or mad. Your guardian say mad. I don't have to feel mad just because somebody say something negative. or cursing at me? Do I have to be mad? Just because I'm stuck in traffic, do I have to be mad? Just because somebody decide to destroy something in front of me, do I have to be mad? So you gotta answer that question, Alicia. It is a choice. If you want to be mad, you will get angry. If you choose not to be mad and see, I still love this person. I still love this environment, no matter what that is. Stuck in traffic, somebody destroyed the environment, whatever that is that you once think is negative. You can turn that around and say, hey, it's okay. This person had his or her own darkness. It is okay. There's some sort of a destined event needs to happen, like car accident. Got everybody stuck in traffic for hours and after hours. But, they're still trying to deal with their own life issue, right? In that regard, I don't have to react to that negatively. However, you can turn that into universal love. And I still love those strangers. I still love this environment. I'm not here to prefer anything. I'm not here to discriminate anything. I will like this event the way it is, and I'm not going to try to control and try to change it or even do something about it. You don't have to do something about everything in your life, Alicia. You can let it be. There is a higher calling for everybody to go through whatever life event they're facing. What you really need to focus on is your inside. How do you feel about that at that moment in time? What can you do to release that attachment, release that burden, release that negative feeling, and we create that into a universal love. I hope you hear that heart calling about how you can turn all those negativity into this authentic version of you just by releasing it, detaching it, okay, through whatever that so-called healing. So you don't have to put the word worth behind everything that you do in that universal love. Worth only trap you into like, dislike, preference, all that kind of things to cause you to have further emotional reaction in a negative way, even though it might seem like positive feeling, but underneath of that, there is a negative emotion involved to encourage that good feeling for you. So watch out for that, how it could steer you away from this authentic directions anymore. I need to elaborate here. So going back to opportunity card, the first card is that making sure you seize all of those life encounter. Every moment is a life event. Being here doing this reading for you, it is a life event as well. From the moment you wake up, having a dream while you're sleeping, it is also a life event. Take advantage of that to see what kind of emotion is triggering you at that moment and do the necessary release right away. You don't understand what is need to release, dive deeper to see what that is. And you still having challenge, ask your spiritual guardian, my spirit guide, can you help me out? Show me the sign. What it is that I'm missing. I'm trying to figure out what the feeling that I have with this emotional trigger. I know I have emotional trigger, but I still not quite get it. Show me the sign to help me better understand in a deeper level, and so forth, right? Don't judge when it's going to come to you. Don't judge how it is going to come to you. Things might not happen right away, but eventually, yeah, suddenly you get enlightenment back to the time that you asked about this, and suddenly you got enlightened. Oh, that's what it was long time ago when I had this particular light event that I couldn't figure out. That's what that feeling is to me at that time and now. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope this helped you. And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. This is a journal reading for Liesl using the Phenomenon Wisdom Oracle. And there is a confident card here. Let me go to a guide of their way to elaborate for you here about confidence. Becoming confident. You feel like an affirmation here for you. You're slowly becoming confident. So, which is a good thing, Leslie. It feels like you've been working on yourself. Perhaps you're letting go some sort of judgment toward your worth. Is there anything else? There's some sort of inner knowledge that you have. You're letting go some sort of negativities. Not to judge yourself, not to put value on certain thing where it's harming your confidence. So this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. And this is a journal reading for Emma from Angel Answers. I have the abundant card for you here. Misinterpretation about abundance. That's the first thing I pick up for you, Emma. Perhaps you're still using the physical perspective of life, a little bit of spiritual perspective of life as well. And you do understand about happiness, but however, you don't understand what is true happiness. And it feels like falling in love, having family, having enough, having security, having good health, surrounding with people that you love and care. That seems to be enough for you, Emma. No obstacle in life. That seems to be enough for you, Emma. But that is not the true kind of abundance here, Emma. Because you haven't really discerned the difference between your darkness and light. You have not dived deep enough to the spiritual perspective of life, of how your soul is still trapped in its own darkness. If you ever wonder why you have negative emotions, if you ever wonder where you're coming from, your spiritual guardian wants you to really take this message and dive deeper into, is that all there is for you in this lifetime? Do you feel there is this special guts feeling it's trying to tell you something different? Do you want just to have normalcy the way you will life to be? Or is there more in the unknown that you haven't really tried to discover on your own? And I'm guided here to end it for you. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. For Liesl, will Chris and I ever meet again in person? Guided to use the guardian angel card. Let me go through each card and see what is will I interpret for you the answers. About the guardian angels. You have at least one guardian angel who lovingly oversees all your life events. Your guardian angel is a messenger of life whose divine mission is to protect and guide humanity along its sacred journey. Its love for you is unconditional, so no matter what you do or don't do, you are always worthy of their love. So I'm getting a neutral card here. Your spiritual guardian wants to explain to you when you come to me for reading. You're asking your own guardian for an answer about this reading, okay? I'm just getting a neutral answer here for you through your question. The second one is trust. You are looking at a situation from a purely physical perspective, and therefore you cannot see the bigger picture and the blessing interwoven within your life events. I'm putting pearl behind life events. Your guardian angel urges you to trust, for all will work out in the best way possible. Let go of your fear and apprehension and allow its healing energy to flow through you. Trust, for all will heal in ways you never thought possible. Now, this is a yes card. There will be opportunity in the future, okay? This is a second card telling me yes, but be mindful of that. You don't see a bigger pictures. You have to trust about your life events as your life journey goes. And you have to learn to let go your negative feelings, fear and apprehension. Be mindful of that. What kind of energy you're creating for your own soul. Liesl. That's important, okay? You don't want to stay in negativity to attract more of the same thing. Negative emotions are never good for your health. Now this card, the dark card, says surrender. Remain positive about the future of this planet, for all is part of humanity evolution. There is a divine order to all the chaos which you perceive in this world. Nothing will ever truly change until you learn to love and accept all as it is. Lovingly surrender your judgments and expectation, and your life will magically transform. Now, your spiritual guardian is asking you to work on letting go your judgment and expectation, especially expectation. It's trying to tell you that when you're asked this question, you have expectation about your future. You're anticipating the future. And this card is telling me, yes, there will be opportunity between you and Chris in the future. How soon, I don't know. Seems like soon, but I cannot predict because your energy changing your own opportunity with him. So be mindful of that. You need to let go of judgment. You need to let go of expectation. Don't anticipate. If you're still judging because of your past experiences in your whatever happened in your life causing you to have negative emotions, time to revisit them. Time to work on them when you're having emotional trigger. Don't just sit on that and continue to practice your negative emotion. Remember, negative emotions are not healthy kind. Negative emotions do not create better relationship with this person. Just because there's opportunity to meet again does not mean you should continue practicing judgment and expectation, okay? And also fear and apprehension. I hope you hear this calling. So overall, I will have to say yes, even though there's one neutral card here to introduce you, who is your spiritual guardian. And I'm glad to end here. May you find light from your spirit from it. Open-ended question for Ashley. Financial stability, that's what I asked for. First thing that I got, allow things to come. I feel like there's a destined event at play here that has to play it out in your life. It's not something you can anticipate, Ashley. When it comes to financial stability, it needs accumulations. There's something I need to tell her about the clutter. I'm getting clutter. You need to clear your clutters. You need to evaluate why you're having clutters. Not just physical things around you, but also your inside. You also have emotional clutters that are blocking your energy, blocking the good energy that you need. So you need to work on clear them out, okay? So that when you have good energy, things start keep floating through you. So you're allowing more good things to come to you in your life, okay? And financial stability require a little bit of accumulations. But what are you accumulating? If you're accumulating clutter, emotional clutter, physical clutter, those are not a good things, okay? So be mindful of your mindset, okay? You're using negativities, Ashley. If you say it's not gonna work, I cannot do it, then that's where you're going to get stuck with your own negative energy. That's what you're immuting to the universe to attract more of the same thing. That's law of attractions. You don't want to keep manifesting all this negativity because you think negative. Festive seasons. Please don't manifest. Just allow this reading to come to you. So that way you're not creating answer for yourself, Ashley. Festive season. July. That's why I'm picking up. Next year's something happens. Celebrations. You can finally take deep breath. That's what I'm getting here. Anything about this particular card cannot be helped. Just around the corner. Something about marriage. Are we still talking about next year, July? So there's some sort of a celebration going on just around the corner. She should focus on that too and stop worrying about money. I'm not sure whose marriage that is. Ashley. That's all I'm seeing in the card. So it should be a happy time. There's no need to worry. Divine timing is at play here. Because Ashley is too determined to think that nothing wrong with her. So I'm seeing delayed because you're delaying, you're not allowing things to come to you. And you think that is there a different approach you want me to speak to her about? It's the same thing that I mentioned about law of attractions because she doesn't think that she has energy problems. She doesn't think that she has emotional problems. So therefore, yeah, divine timing is at play and there's also a delayed. Wherever the good things wants that you wants to come, it's going to be delayed because there's this negative attitude going on and you're not realizing that. And it is not too late. It is not too late to change this energy that you're having, Ashley. It is not too late to awaken yourself to see the darkness that you have, to recreate a better inner world for yourself. So that way you can release those negativities that you're having. But first of all, you need to have self-awareness. Without this change, it's hard to have stability in your life. Losing something, it's not a bad thing if that's going to help you to see the dark night of your soul. If that's going to help trigger you. It's like a tarot card in a tarot deck. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing what you're going through, Ashley. And I hope that it is not too late to embrace your tower when you're having it, when there's a high calling for it in this life right now, in this life journey. So I hope you're realizing it from a spiritual perspective. Right now you're stuck in the physical perspective in life. You haven't integrated your heart, mind, and soul into this physical life form. So I hope you see whatever you're asking for is not going to come to you until you're actually doing something about yourself in a positive way. And this card is saying it's not too late to do something about that. And the last card is that it's not the right time. Wherever you're trying to invest in, wherever you're trying to focus on, it is not the right time. It's trying to tell you. Because your mindset is still stuck in something, wherever you're desiring, your desire is not serving your greatest good, and that's an affirmation from your spiritual guardian. It's not going to help you to have stability. Stability is not just about financial stability, but more about your overall well-being as well, from the inside and from the outside. That's what I'm getting here. It feels like your approach to life, it needs to change. It is something for you to reflect on. If you think you have reflected enough, but your guardians say you're using the wrong approach to reflect on yourself. Is there anything else? The key here is to reflect on your emotions, and you think that you don't have the negative emotion, which is the culprit of this entire reading. It talks about it. So if you still resisting it, and it's going to be a downward path, it's already happening. It happened long time ago. This is not just the first time you're experiencing obstacle in life. You've been through that in this entire lifetime, and you're still not having the wake-up call. That's what I'm getting here. That's why you're going through this cycle after cycle. It doesn't matter how big and how small that is that's affecting you. But I hope that you see that you need to integrate all other aspects of your life in order to understand what integration is about. What is the light it's about. But do you realize you have the darkness that you need to release in order to bring the good energy back into your life? And that's how abundance gonna come in for you. So I hope you're not judging what kind of abundance that is once you creating your own inner world anymore. God, to end here, may you find light from your spiritual guardian. God, journal reading for Destiny using as your guide. There's a community card here, 56. See if there's a specific message for you in the guidebook. Let's talk about availability. Talking about like-minded other in your community. They are your true soul. Because they will help you to open up, to find people that can understand you. That's what I'm getting here. So you have to show up in your community to really find those people or to connect to those people, or perhaps you do know some of those people and perhaps you will meet someone new in the future as well if you show up and be there in the community wherever you are, to be in the like-minded group. And I'm God you and here may you find light from your spiritual guardian. A journal reading from the feminine wisdom says sisterhood here. People in your social circle, people that you hang out with, influence you. What am I getting here? Can you keep focusing on your breathing? Because I'm getting self-inflicted answer here. People in your social circle, people that you hang out with are influencing you in a warm way. You might not realizing that because you prefer them, because you like them, because you feel good around them. So you value their own opinions over your gut's feelings. And you're not realizing that. You're gonna have to draw a healthy boundary about who these people are to give you ideas about your life. And I'm seeing someone in the past that has significant impact on you about idea of life, idea of family, whatever that is. Anything else on this one? God, to end here, may you find light from your spiritual guardian. Yes, no question for Holley. Does your husband still want the marriage? I'm using the higher self oracle for you. Got the acceptance card here. This is the next one, right? You're not alone. And got the one called nature. Let me see if I could just lay them down here. there a specific message here? Acceptance. You want me to go a guidebook? Maybe a specific message here. This is a tough lesson when it comes to acceptance. It feels like you need to accept each other the way where you are, where you guys are right now. There's too much struggle within your own self and within his own self. Who are we talking about here? Holley or Nick? Both are struggling. They're draining each other energy because of lack of acceptance. The acceptance, not accepting each other the way they are, and not accepting themselves as well, their own self. Let me be clear. It keeps circulating this negative cycle over and over again. That's one of the main problem here. That's what the spiritual guardian is saying. That's why it wants to tell you that it's not as simple as yes and no question here, Holley. It's trying to explain what's the problem or what it is that you guys need to work on in this relationship. It's neutral. This card is giving me, it's not a yes, it's not a no when it comes to answering your question. But let's move on to the second one. You're not alone. You're not alone in this life journey. You're not alone in this relationship with him. Same thing for Nick. Nick. Excuse me, not Nick. Is there any specific isolations? Why does there's isolation energy in here? Someone is feeling isolated in this relationship, like feeling being alone. Doesn't matter what is being said, like I'm not being heard. It feels like one-sided communication. I feel like you don't care. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm getting as well. The language is using like there's some sort of an attitude, like you are the problems. That is looking on, this is looking from a external perspective of life, and that is another problems. Too much emotional turmoils, reactions, causing all this feeling of isolation, feeling, oh, do you even care about me? Why are we having this conversation? Why do you speak the way you speak to me like you didn't do that in a long time ago? Why there is no more loving energies, but judgment, but arguments. I'm picking up particularly arguments. Separations. Separation, it's the only way to cool down, to calm down, not to hear all those negativities. even though somebody think, oh, it's just about personal growth, self-improvement, so forth. But that's not the feeling it's trying to say here. So that's what lead to isolation, wanted these separations. So the question is this card is, does Nick want to give up? Yes. In this card, this isolation card, this separation card, it wants to give up on this marriage. That's yes. The first one is neutral, the second one is yes. The third one, so I'm just answering the opposite of what you're saying. He wants to give up, okay? So nature, okay? Let's go to the last one and see how that is. Let me write it down. The first one is neutral. The first one, no, he doesn't want to, okay? Work it out. So, and the third one, nature. See how that go, right? With this, that's why we're doing 3 cards for a reason. Needs healing in this relationship. It needs love, nurturing in this relationship. It's not only together, but it needs self-healing as well. So that way, negative emotions aren't expressed toward each other's or inciting toward each other. And I feel like both and not or. You guys are doing it both ways. That's why it's draining this energy. It's so hard to accept. When you're draining each other energy, guess what? Every time I see you, my energy is sinking. I'm getting the word fatigued, tired. I want to be alone. I need to rest. I need to rejuvenate, doing something more, something that excites me, something that makes me happy. So I hope you hear the message here. What's going on with those energy that's coming from negative emotions? Anything else in this, it need purifying. If you guys are not willing to work on your own negative emotions, nothing's gonna work. It doesn't matter you guys have compatibility or not. It's not even compatibility issue. It is about darkness enough caused by your own negative emotions into your self-expressions. It's like daily things. Even though you might think, oh, I'm doing this for our own sake, doing this, saying this, whatever suggestion, whatever that is to improve our life, to make it more exciting, to make it more what's so called rejuvenating. That is just idea of love. That is not really true love. This is just expressing my expectation in this relationship. It doesn't talk about what each other actually feel. Even if you are really talk about your feeling, but you still talk about your own negative emotions. It's not really a true love feelings that I'm talking about. That is not conditionally. Every time you apply expectation idea, that's called conditional love. That is not unconditional love. So I hope you guys see the difference between those two. In this card, is there more need to talk about healing is so significant to both of you. don't try to force healing on each other. You have to do your own self-healing first. If you try to force healing on each other, like self-improvement on each other, it's not going to work, right? It's like, oh, this is my suggestion toward you that you should do blah, 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 blah. But you cannot fix somebody else's problem. You can only fix it your own self, because you keep pointing at somebody else. Hey, this is what you need to do. What about your own self? What can you do to change yourself first? You need to stop talking about the other person. You need to stop talking about your own self first. How are you contributing your negativity toward each other? If you don't see that, it is very hard to find the light in this darkness, in this so-called separation, okay? I'm not sure what phase in this separation might be. Maybe it's just the beginning of it. Can it get worse? Sure it can. It depends how much longer are you encouraging those negativity that I'm talking about here. So yeah, go back to the fundamental healing first. So this card is saying neutrals. Okay. So there is no yes and no when it comes to neutrals. It's meaning this two card maybe he does not want to work out this marriage, but there is also one card saying no. He definitely does not want to work it out. He wants that me time to figure out things. Okay. So if this negativity that I'm talking about, all this problem in these three cards are continue, it is based on both of your current energy right now. If this energy continue, yeah, I feel like it is affirming he does not want to work it out at all. Okay. But there's a chance that, because that's why there's a two maybe card, that you both can turn this relationship around to rebuild a stronger foundation through unconditional love. That is the key word. I'm saying again, through unconditional love. No judgment, no expectations. Healing takes time. Till healing takes a lot of understanding. Healing takes a lot of inner awareness of how you guys speak to each other. Perhaps it is time to find your own sacred space to understand how you've been practicing darkness in love all this time. You know, any more I need to say about this to Holley? I'm glad to end here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. This is open-ended question using love me not. And the spiritual guardian wants to know about your relationship between you and Caleb. And I'm totally in love with you. Who is? Both of them are in love with each other? That's the first thing that I'm getting here. Don't take this personally, but my heart belongs to someone else. Who is that? Caleb is saying this. His heart is belong to someone else. And then I have this dark card here. My love life isn't really a priority at the moment. Who is that? Caleb does not think that he's taking this relationship with Kayla seriously. Anything else about that? Caleb is on twin flame journey. And that's the reason why his heart belongs to someone else. Is there any more that Kayla needs to know? What is this about karma? I'm hearing from your guardian, Kayla, that you should cherish every moment with this person. It doesn't matter where it is taking you guys, now in the future, because y'all do have certain compatibility, like a soulmate type. That's what I'm getting here. That I'm totally in love with you. It is both ways. But this card here is so much deeper when it comes to twin flame relationship. Sometimes twin flame don't make it together in that like in a lifetime. Sometimes they're required to be separated in order to learn unconditional love, so forth. But I don't know. I don't with his twin flame to understand what's going on with him. But I'm just giving you a very, very general information, right? So also not a priority. So take it easy in this relationship. And that's why it should enjoy the moment with him whenever, the time that you both are getting together. Anything else? I'm glad to end here for you. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Journal reading for Blondie from Love Oracle card. First one I'm getting is actions speak louder than words. I feel like your guardian wants you to focus on your own actions, how you interact, how you behave, to understand where is that coming from. Is it also about other parties as well? It's more like how you interact with people. What kind of reaction are you having? Why do you behave in certain way, certain pattern? Why do you not always behave the same way toward different individuals? That's the key here. If you can compare, hey, why do you behave this way with this person A versus the person B? What is that with special relationship, that special feeling that you're having with that individuals? So that's the I feel like this is an exercise for you to see how you treat people differently, how you conditioning your life to move away from unconditional love, so-called universal love. This is the second card. Be optimistic. Keep in mind that you create your reality. You cannot attract love with a negative mindset. The mindset is also come from attitude. It's also come from judgment. Do you notice how you will react based on your past experiences? Perhaps this is something it didn't turn out too well, so therefore you use it over and over again now in the future to react the same way using that type of past experiences, and you wouldn't give this new light event another opportunity to explore, like brand new. Like, don't use your past experiences to explore. If you can do that, that's where you will bring out your innocent child, where you're not judging it. Whatever happened in the past, you can just let it go, set it free. So that way you can live your life without the burden. You can cherish every moment. You can be more happier. I feel like that's the feeling that you wanted it, but then you're not realizing, hey, you're still attached to your past. So if you can go back to your past and try to release each one of them whenever you're triggered by current and future life event, that's how you're going to set yourself free and be more happier. And this is an optimistic card for you. So may you find light from your spiritual guardian. This is a journal card reading for Pam from Lovers Oracles. I'm having this card for you. You might not always understand why certain things happen. However, is always a high purpose to the event in your life through turmoil. blessing will soon be revealed. And God, and here may you find light from your spiritual guardian.